I think we can start. This is the first meeting in the Year of the Horse, and I wish you all a very happy and prosperous New Year. Agenda item number 1, confirmation of minutes. The minutes of the meeting held on the 20th of January have been issued, and the Secretariat hasn't received any proposals for amendments. So can we now confirm the minutes, please? Members, can we confirm the minutes? Thank you, Ms. Emily Lau. And we have a seconder, Ms. Claudia Mo. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 2, information papers issued since the last meeting. We've got a response from the Housing Department to the letter from Mr. Christopher CHEUNG on the arrangements for filling a directorate post in the Housing Department. Then item 3 on the agenda, date of next meeting and items for discussion. The next meeting will be held on the 17th of March. In fact, the starting time for our regular meeting is 10:45. Then the administration has proposed 2 items for discussion. First of all, review on conditioned hours of work for mod scale 1 grades. And second, civil service related issues featuring in the 2014-2015 budget. Do members agree that we should discuss these 2 issues? So I welcome Mr. Tang as well as his team for coming to our meeting today. So do members agree that we should discuss these 2 items next time? All right, agree? With regard to the first item, review on conditioned hours of work for mod scale 1 grades. On the 17th of October last year, Mr. Tang Ka-piu and Mr. Kwok Wai-keung wrote to me suggesting that we should discuss the matter and invite relevant civil service groups to meet the panel. Because only the mod 1 grades will be involved. There won't be too many deputations. So may I suggest that we start the meeting at 10 next time in order to meet the deputations. Right, there is no objection from members. Then we will start our meeting at 10 next time so that the deputations can attend our meeting. And item 4 on the agenda, an overview of training and development for civil servants. And may I now invite Mr. Tang to take us through the paper. Yes, thank you, Chairman. As stated in the policy address this year, will provide more learning and training opportunities for civil servants. We hope to be able to maintain an efficient, clean and dedicated civil service. So we're going to organize more courses for civil servants, including a course jointly organized by the HKUST and the Oxford University. And we will also enhance our national studies programs, including inviting guest speakers to update civil servants on the latest economic development in the mainland and the midterm review of the 12th five-year plan. And then concerning exchange programs, at the moment, Beijing and Shanghai and other cities are covered, and we hope to expand the list of cities so as to enhance civil servants' knowledge and understanding of mainland cities and the operation of the government. And we will have case analysis and also experience sharing so that civil servants will know more about leading change and also innovative problem solving. And we'll also try to enhance civil servants' ability to work as a team and to adapt to changes. And we'll also have seminars on communication and how to face the media. So we will make sure that civil servants can communicate with society effectively. There will also be a lot of e-resources, e-learning opportunities, so that the lifelong learning culture among civil servants can be promoted. And then we also have the National Studies Program at the Chinese Academy of Governance for senior directorate officers. We hope to enhance the understanding of the country. And we will also provide basic law training courses for civil servants of different ranks. We will also try to enhance civil servants' understanding of the basic laws through various channels. And we can now answer members' questions. One member would like to, and also I myself, Mr. Tony Chair, Ms. Emily Lau, Mr. Poon Chiu Ping, Mr. Sin Chung Kai, so a total of 5 members. So each member will have 5 minutes. So I've read the paper, Secretary. We can see that the scope of your training program is very wide. So we are not worried about the quantity of courses provided, but about some postgraduate courses. Now, I studied at Stanford for 1 year, and I now understand that there is the Kennedy School, University of Harvard course, but I want to know whether you do offer postgraduate degree courses. But then such courses will be of longer duration, and the resources required will be substantial. But we still have Master of Public Administration courses offered to civil servants. So there are such courses, yes. And with regard to the Stanford course, I'm not trying to advertise the Stanford course, but will you also offer postgraduate business courses? Now, say officials like you, Mr. Tang, you have extensive experience in public administration, and so if you go to the Kennedy School of Government, Harvard University, you'll definitely get very good grades. The course program will not be difficult to you at all. But then if civil servants can attend a course at the business school, then of course the course will be much more challenging, but the exposure will be very valuable. I'm not merely talking about Stanford University. We have other universities with excellent business schools, Columbia University, and so on and so forth. So will such courses be offered to senior civil servants? Permanent Secretary. Yes, Chairman. Now, concerning 1 year courses, we've identified a Master of Public Policy program, a 1 year program offered by the University of Oxford, and we'll be sending an assistant director to attend the course. We'll see whether the course will be suitable for civil servants of the SAR. And then second, Chairman, we do send our colleagues to to Stanford University and to the Business School of Harvard, and also to INSEAD. But then these management courses are usually short in duration, for example, 1 month or so. But we have such courses where we do not offer 1 year courses. And I've got a further question for the secretary. I have in mind degree awarding or postgraduate degree awarding courses. Now, I understand that many employers are worried that if their employees obtain a degree or postgraduate degree, then after they've obtained a degree, they will leave. So, do you still require civil servants on overseas training to sign an undertaking? And are there cases where you are not able to enforce the undertaking and have civil servants come back and then shortly decided to leave the civil service? I think I'll ask my colleague to supplement, Vivian. Now, for those colleagues on 1 year courses, they have to sign an undertaking pledging to stay in the civil service for at least 3 years, or they will have to reimburse the government for all the expenses. Mr. Tony Chair. Yes, thank you, Chairman. I think it's important that we allocate more resources to provide training and development for civil servants. We want civil servants to be able to provide quality service for Hong Kong, and we also hope to promote the personal development of civil servants. We hope the civil servants can be able to keep abreast of the times and the latest developments. So we have short-term courses as well as longer-term courses for civil servants. I want to know whether the participants of the courses are all civil servants, or are the participants, or some of the participants from the public sector or the private sector. Now, when we talk about government policies, as we know, there are policies from different bureaus and departments, and so it's important that the trainees know the work of different bureaus and different public organizations, and that they have good connections. You know, in the private sector, people attach great importance to the networking and the connections of the employees. And I think if civil servants can know more about the private sector, they will be better able to formulate policies taking into account the perspective of the private sector. I think it's important that civil servants know about the private sector. Mr. Tang. Yes, and we understand that it's important that trainees have good communication with the stakeholders. Now, in fact, different departments have their own training courses, and the trainees do need to communicate with different sectors. And in fact, the CSTDI provides only 1/10 of the total number of courses provided by the government. The rest are provided at the departmental or bureau level. And then, as I have said, we have the new leadership program organized by the HKUST and the Oxford University, and also, as the permanent secretary has pointed out, there is the Oxford University course, and in both these courses there are also outside participants, and also we do invite guest speakers from outside the government to give talks to civil servants and to share their experience and insights with civil servants. I wish to follow up, Chairman. Now, when we attend courses, we do try to have the participants keeping in touch after the course. I think such networking is important to enhance the trainees' knowledge. So I hope that there will be a networking even after the courses have come to an end.
Yes, of course, we will try to encourage the officers to do so. As far as I know, many officers would do that. I can cite some examples. For example, some of our officers have joined courses at Tsinghua University, and now they have formed an old student association. And also that course recruits students from other areas, including non-government officials. So now they are also connecting with these people. So if a program lasts for a certain period of time, then the students will very likely be friends and meet after the courses. And also we have some local training programs for senior leaders. For example, under paragraph 6 and 7, you can see that the Advanced Leadership Enhancement Program and Leadership in Action programs. And for these programs, people from outside would also join them. So there are opportunities for the government officials to build up relationships with them. Ms. Lam Li Lau. Well, civil servants are very important for the overall development of Hong Kong, and the public attaches a lot of importance to the civil service. Well, some mainland senior officers came to Hong Kong and they made speeches. They knew that Hong Kong has a very good civil service system, and the mainland authorities would also like to learn from Hong Kong. However, our system is breaking down. Later on, when our courts hear the case of Mr. Rafael Hui, I'm sure there will be more scandals. Just now, the secretary said that we should know more about the mainland. We should go there and learn about their conditions. Well, I do not object to that. However, 2 days ago, the Beijing University professor, or Peking University professor, came to Hong Kong to talk about a basic law. There are a lot of people criticizing this. They are saying that how come this professor makes such a speech as if he's representing the central government. And so when I think when you send government officials to the mainland, I'm not saying that you should screen certain courses, but you have to be fair. Yes, our system is different from theirs, but we are not sending people there to be brainwashed. And they also have to understand that Hong Kong is under one country, two systems. They should know that we are under another system. When they speak, as for exchanges, it's not that they are trying to make us learn or copy their system. So does the secretary understand this? I think now we are always talking about the conflict between Hong Kong people and mainlanders. So when the officers go to the mainland, I think sometimes these issues will be brought up. So how can better trainings be provided to our civil service so when they come back to Hong Kong, they can defend one country, two systems and help Hong Kong develop? And also you talked about social media. Yes, I agree that civil service should be taught more about social media. However, when certain social media sends reporters to interview you, you do not let them into government offices. So I think you should teach your Information Services Department and the CE that they should not do this. Now, on one hand, you are teaching civil servants how to handle social media. On the other hand, you do not allow reporters from social media to interview you. There are 2 points I would like to respond to. First of all, about our understanding of the mainland. Now, there are many bureaus and departments that are constantly communicating with the mainland counterparts. So it is very important for them to understand their counterparts. And we do not just look at their development, we also have to know what kind of difficulties they are facing. So for our officers who are sent to the mainland, they do not only communicate with the government officials, they also talk to the academia. They talked about one country, two systems and the basic law. They would not just visit government officials, they would also visit enterprises, ordinary people, university students, etc. So we don't want them to just listen to the official story. They should know other people's views, including the academia and even university students. So by doing so, they can have a better understanding of the mainland. And in the future, when they deal with mainland affairs, they would know more. As for exchanges, as I said just now, well, many government departments in the mainland also think that there are things in Hong Kong that they can learn. So we will continue to step up our civil service exchanges so that we can understand each other more. How about social media? Maybe you cannot answer that question because you are not from that bureau. And for the speakers of the courses, well, they should be from all walks of life. Well, there are people with different views on the mainland. So I hope that you can give us information in the future. So what kind of courses will they be taking and who will be teaching them? Because we don't want our civil servants to go there to be brainwashed. We just want communication. So people with different views should also be invited to be speakers. Can that be done? As for the details you require later on, we will provide you with it. Now, most of the time, we will join hands with Tsinghua University, Peking University, etc. When we invite speakers to come to Hong Kong, and many of them are academia, and some of them would criticize the systems and ways of development on the mainland. So the discussions have always been quite open. I am sure there will not be brainwashing. We just want the civil servants to understand more about the development of China. Please allow me to interrupt because I have taken these courses before. Well, I went to Pudong because as in Shanghai, there are many financial experts there. So most of the teachers were academics. I remember also the mainland China's ambassador to Singapore was also invited to be one of the speakers. Many of these professors are very critical. They would put forward a number of proposal reforms. And also, Ms. Lau, if you are interested, I can arrange for such visits for you. You may also be able to take such courses. Well, thank you for your good intention, but first of all, you need to give us back our home visit permit. Well, when members heard about those courses, we thought those were like drills, so we didn't really want to go. But if there are exchanges, I would welcome them. Well, Madam Chair, I think you also have to ensure that our civil servants will not be brainwashed. Well, maybe we can hold a public hearing. I can ask those people who have taken the courses to come and tell you, well, even my daughter has taken such courses. Ms. Sin Chung Kai, well, I also think that exchanges are very important. However, in the past few years, it seems that there was a lopsided trend. I understand that we have close relationship with the mainland. However, we are an international city. Now, before the handover, there were a lot of changes with the UK. It was because there were some objective factors. So other than going to the mainland, I hope that the government would also would not brush aside the exchanges with other countries. My question is about paragraph 35. It is about civil servants remunerated on or below MPS 0.16 or equivalent. And each one will enjoy a subsidy of $6,000 for external courses. And over 5,500 civil servants have enjoyed the service. So it's like 500 civil servants a year. I believe there are a lot of civil servants that are on or below MPS 0.16. And each year, as an officer can take one course, and the course ceiling of the course fee would be $6,000. But how come only a small number of civil servants have taken such courses? What is the reason? Were there any restrictions? Can the Secretary explain to us? Maybe I can explain briefly and Vivian can give you more details. Now for this scheme, we would like to encourage officers to pursue learning through external courses. These are not government officers, so they make their own applications. But of course, when they take such courses, they have to apply to their own departments, and such courses have to be related to their work. So all the departments would have this kind of arrangements. But for this particular scheme, we focus on civil servants on or below MPS 6.16 or equivalent. So the government will pay for such courses. The major consideration is that the course content should be related to his work. I would like to follow up. Actually, the ratio is very low. I think there are at least 60,000 civil servants of this rank. So how come only such a small percentage of them are making this application? As the Secretary pointed out just now, the government provides all sorts of trainings to civil servants. This is just one of the schemes, and this is to encourage them to take outside courses. And other than this training sponsorship scheme, each department can also approve other applications. So for civil servants on or below MPS 0.16, if they want to take other courses, there are also other arrangements. So you're telling me that do you have a rough figure? Some civil servants, they may have applied for resources from their own departments other than from this scheme. How many people are eligible for this kind of courses anyway? You mean the total number? I do not have the figure in hand, Chairman. Well, please give us that figure after the meeting. You are saying that there are other opportunities, but do you think this figure is on the low side? Now we can revisit the application situation, but you should note 2 points. First of all, when you apply for a course, that course has to be related to your work, and for some other officers, maybe they do not have so much time to study. Mr. Pen. Well, I share Mr. Sin Chung Kai's concern. That is about paragraph 35. Well, the government didn't give us a really good answer. I think the number is really on the low side. Now, the government has reserved $63.5 million, and this is for external courses. So I think for civil servants of a senior or medium ranks, they would use more resources when it comes to training. So can you give us a breakdown? How are you going to spend the $63.5 million? And how about training for civil servants who are transferred to other departments? There are 2 points. Now, we do not have the figures concerning trainings provided by departments themselves because we do not want to micromanage. As for EOs and AOs, of course, when they take up a new post, trainings will be provided. We, of course, will make that kind of arrangements.
Individual departments do provide their respective training courses for their staff. So concerning transfer courses, maybe we are in fact talking about handover arrangements. So any more follow-up questions? No? Ms. Claudia Mo. Thank you. Now, Mr. Shu-kun at this panel said that the government had to fight a public opinion war, and we were really rather shocked. And then concerning basic law training, now people can read the basic law themselves. So why is it that you have to provide training to civil servants on the basic law? Is it that you have to impose your interpretation on civil servants? For example, is it that I'll not use the term brainwashing. Now, I believe all civil servants are illiterate, are educated, and so they really cannot be brainwashed. But is it that you have to tell civil servants that as a basic law doesn't provide for civic nominations, and so that's not allowed? And you may say civil servants are politically neutral, so we need not be worried. But then I think we do understand that in fact we cannot do anything that will shake the nerves of the central authorities. So I understand that as the saying goes, if you work for the emperor, you have to be concerned about the emperor's affairs. But then in our case, the so-called emperor is the people of Hong Kong. Now, this government is not an elected government. It doesn't have the people's mandate. And so if you use public funds to train civil servants, so the civil servants will learn about the government's mentality. Now, Chairman, as the saying goes, if you get very close to black ink, you become black. So people will be influenced by things that they come into contact to. Concerning these basic training courses, is it that for those who have attended those courses, their superiors will feel that these employees or staff tend to be more politically correct, and as a result, they will win the favor of their bosses? In fact, we invite different experts to give their views on the basic law. We invite mainland as well as local experts to share their views on the basic law with civil servants. And these guest speakers may not all share the same view. And as Ms. Mo has said, civil servants will know how to exercise their judgment. I want to know whether the experts you have invited include Professor Benny Tai from the Hong Kong U. I don't think I should be naming names here concerning who has been invited and who hasn't been invited. I just wish to say that we do invite different people, different guest speakers to come to share their insights with civil servants, and these guest speakers do hold different views about the basic law. And these basic law training courses but basic training courses, and they will not affect civil servants' promotion prospects in any way. Permanent Secretary. Now, it's really necessary, Chairman, to provide basic law training for civil servants. Now, we need to explain to our colleagues the latest court cases and the basic law implications. In fact, from time to time, when the government implements its policies, it faces challenges in court with concerning the interpretation of the basic law. And that's why we need to provide courses to update colleagues on the latest court cases, so that when new policies are to be implemented or formulated in the future, colleagues will know very well the latest developments. Right, second round, Ms. Emily Lau. Thank you, Chairman. I said that a clean civil service was of utmost importance, and I understand that training courses do cover aspects like integrity and core values. Now, there is an ICAC advisory committee headed by Mr. Michael C., but we are worried because Michael C. will retire towards the end of the year, and maybe another C.Y. Leung's fan will substitute him. And I want the committee has said that the scrapping of the pension system may have some impact on integrity within the civil service. So what is the CSV's position on this one? And then it is said that civil servants are also trained on how to manage stress, how to deal with disputes, and how to harbor positive psychology. Yes, we understand. We understand that at the district level, residents do make complaints when they feel aggrieved. But then some frontline civil servants have told us that they feel really a lot of pressure, and they feel that if democracy will bring such results, they will not really want to see democracy being implemented. So we must explain to them the situation, and we need to tell civil servants how to deal with complaints and conflicts. And of course, there must be a sound complaint handling mechanism. But I understand that many frontline officers are already on the verge of breakdown because of the pressure they face. Yes, the pension system was scrapped about a decade ago, but we do not think that this will cause more corruption within the civil servants. Let me make 2 points. Firstly, it's true that civil servants who joined after a certain date do not get any pension, but then the retirement protection they get is higher or better than that provided for in the law, because there is voluntary contribution from the government, and for civil servants who resign, they can get some of the contributions, and when they retire, they will also get all their statutory benefits. So members are not worried that civil servants may accept corruption because they will not have retirement benefits. But then, of course, if members are worried that civil servants may not be able to live within their means, and as a result they have to resort to corruption, that would, of course, be a very worrying situation. So that's why we need to step up preventive education among your civil servants as to whether there's enough money to spend to provide for one's livelihood. In fact, even if a person has a lot of income, doesn't mean that he will think that he has enough money to spend. It really depends on the person's attitude. And so we don't think that because of the lack of pension, civil servants would tend to be more corrupt. We have been stepping up our preventive education, and of course, if we discover cases of corruption, we will definitely refer such cases to the ICAC. And then we have asked the management to give our frontline colleagues more support when complaints are received. So if our frontline colleagues have already done their jobs, have already performed their duties, then the management should give the staff more support. And also, if there are unsubstantiated complaints, frivolous complaints, then the ombudsman will just tell the complainants that the complaint cannot be pursued and should not be pursued. But of course, there are bound to be people who keep on complaining despite the ombudsman's telling them that there is no case to take the matter further. So I think what's most important is that the management should give more support to its staff. Chairman, I hope that departments can keep statistics concerning the number of complaints received. And please also help your frontline colleagues cope with the pressure that they face in their daily work. And I just want to say that perhaps the secretary should talk to Mr. Michael C. He made the comment only after he had studied all the figures and the trends over the past years. So I don't think Mr. Michael C. has made such remarks without good grounds. A clean civil service is extremely important for Hong Kong. And so if there is any sign that these values are being eroded, then we must take speedy remedial action. Yes, I think, Chairman, I have already reflected our position to Mr. C, and I think what's important is that we should continue to promote a corruption-free culture and also carry out preventive education within the civil service. Now, I think we can adjourn this item. It's only 10:13, and the next item is an overview. Sorry, Mr. Tang Ka-piu. No, it's not time yet for the next item because we've finished this part before the scheduled time. So let's have a short break. They haven't arrived yet. Let's when will they arrive? Let's resume at 10:40. Let's resume at 10:40. Let's have a toilet break.